Hello again, it's me again, and I completely give up. I completely give up trying to do what I was trying to do. But you'll notice that there's only 2 more test me's left in this. What I was trying to do was do what this thing does. Which is turn this into that. Some way to change these letters into these letters. And I simply cannot find any way to do it. It's impossible. It's impossible. I can see that, I know that these are the same once I'm given them. They have the same unique identifier and everything. But finding out, if the function you're supposed to call, which is supposed to return you the information and all the data needed in order to do that conversion, returns with an error code that this is not a reparse point, whereas getFileAttribute says it's a reparse point. So someone's lying, and I don't know who. It's not really that important. All that matters really is that I can tell that 2 things are the same, and that part is solved. Now, how did I go down to 13? This was up to 16 gigs before. Anyway, one of the things I've been doing besides that was playing. And I was playing with like a little animator thing. And what I wanted to do, of course I can't show you, so you'll notice one's going the wrong way. See, I added this little menu here. You can change the direction of the blip. But unfortunately, I can't get a double click to happen with this stupid recorder running. But I can get what I wanted was now I'm using the arrow keys to change the speed of this thing. See? And that was tricky. Also, if I hit tab, I should be in the next one. Yeah, there I am. I'm in there. Now the problem is, to do that, getting the keyboard focus is not a problem. You just add these to the list of tabable items so they can acquire the keyboard. But the arrow keys themselves, not actually not in here. See, they tend to knock you out of where you were. Now this one's, I can't go to the right, but I can go left. And this one I can go right or left. But it takes me out, right? And so I'm actually get some keys, but then if I would hit up or down, the focus would change either to this one and then to one of these buttons or somewhere else. And I wanted to keep the arrow keys. I mean, I can get letters that doesn't do anything, but in particular I wanted the, that's raining. I wanted the arrow keys, and I didn't want them to make it go away, or to go away. Okay, it looks like the rain has slowed down a little bit. As I was saying, as I was playing around with this animation thingy, and doing these various things, pause, zoom, and move the image back and forth, and of course the keys. So now, you see, it's not a problem to give the keyboard focus to one of these controls. It's beeping, but that's probably because I'm not, saying that I'm handling the messages or something. But the problem really, again, is with these arrows. So here's my solution. I was looking for something that I have that has a set of radio buttons. I don't know if you know how to use radio buttons. This is a little utility I made. The way it works with radio buttons, see. Okay, well, I don't know why it's going down here, but I don't think it's supposed to. The way these radio button things work is that there's always one member of the group has the group property, okay, and then the following controls do not have that property, and that has the effect of grouping everything following this grouped item into one set, which is why I'm surprised this isn't perfect. I haven't got the tab order right or something here. The thing is, if you do it right, then it shouldn't go out of this box. It shouldn't let me do that. So somehow it's thinking that this is part of the group, and it's not. So I've done something wrong here in my dialog. I should fix it. This utility actually is quite good. What it does is I always found it that occasions would come up where I'd want to collect a bunch of files from various places and put them in the same folder. So, like for instance, this is set to put whatever. This is how I set the options. Whatever I select, it's going to go into my backups downloads folder if I drop it in there. So for instance, if I went into here and here and did that and send to folder, okay, that's going to end up in my backups downloads. And sure enough, it's there. So sometimes I get into situations where I want to put lots and lots of files in the same location and sort of do some collecting of things, and so I don't want to, keep clicking back and forth and back and forth. I just set the thing to one place, and then I can do whatever it is I want it to do. Collect all the things I want it to collect. And maybe I collect this, so that needed to go there, And you can select a bunch of things. And it remembers where it goes. And if there's a conflict, it dutifully warns you about that. And you can do directories. But anyway, the point was about those radio buttons. So my trick in keeping the up and down arrows from disappearing after they've gotten the focus in one of these controls is to make each of these a single button radio button control. So that is, each one is a group. Each one is the head group member for its group of radio button controls. And so that way I never lose the up and down keys. The other thing, as I said, is this inverting, and I'm saving all this stuff on in the registry, using that sort of something like that serial thing. I made animator window has a serialize function. I'm not using the virtual thing, just registry. And all that does is, mem copy everything in all the members into the registry. And when I'm loading, I read them back. So it reloads my M, which has, so I put a version number here in case if I change the data in here. I'll change the version number. It's currently version 1 somewhere. Got that written. If I change it, I'll change it to version 2. When it loads, you'll see the wrong version, and delete and discard whatever's in the registry. Where did I? That version. Here. Oh, I'm just setting it equal to 1. Curver, it should say. Yeah. Now the other thing, as I was saying, is that most of those file things are working okay now. I was just doing this test. So now I can use relative paths in get long file name image, and if it exists, it will resolve it into a path. Otherwise, I'll get nothing. So this still only returns real paths, and when it discovers a relative path is something that has things like double dots or dot slash. These are relative indicators. I want to get rid of those, so that's a relative path. To get rid of relative paths, you use this function, which doesn't care whether or not the path actually exists. It just takes care of getting rid of those dot, it's 2 double dots and then a forward backwards thing. It resolves that bit. Doesn't check for existence, but turns the path name into a resolved path name with no more relativism in it. And then I can call set long path name. Now I changed all these names too because of this. There's just no way, I undefined it and everything. There's no way for me to hit F11 and wind up in one of these functions because of those number defines. So even if it's namespaced, it doesn't matter. The compiler uses the number defined first. That's the meaning of of the thing. So this namespacing is stronger than the C++ namespacing. Yeah, so hopefully I didn't mess that up. Something else I wanted to mention. Something to do with, oh well, of course I'm always adding stuff to the string class. Maybe there was something in there. Oh, I have a standard printout for a bitmap info header, of course. But that wasn't what I wanted to mention. Oh yeah, about this attribute thing and this problem. You see, the real attribute. Oops, if you look at the help, it does symbolic link stuff, right? So it knows about that. It knows about these things. And I thought, well, I think attrib is not built in. It's probably a program. So I went to look for it. And there it is. So then I did dumpbin, of course. Look forward. I dump this out. And look. Now look at this. Work on reparse points, okay? And all these great functions. Set file name. Set standard output stream. Put an array thing. All C++ stuff. Third cat. I'm thinking this is an interesting looking library. What is it? ulib.dll. Okay, so I'll go online. I check it out. ulib. Okay, it's a open source library. Okay, and I went to the downloads. Now, this is a Windows program, okay, that comes with the operating system. But it's in my System32 directory. And it's an open source thing, and it's become part of the Windows standard files. Now here's one of their headers, okay. Global macros and settings, authors such and so at Gmail, BC links. So it's all for Visual C. It's all for my compiler. And I went to downloads, and I downloaded this, and I unzipped it. And now what's this guy here? Shouldn't be there. You see what I'm saying? It was trying to delete my entire source 3 directory. Backup.temp. I selected it. Okay. Live. Source. And now double click is working. And look at all this stuff. Now here's VC8. It's got a solution thing and a whole bunch of projects. And look at all the stuff in here. Desk util. Okay, well, a lot of it's, they're all small. There's one where it takes a screenshot. Well, I didn't look here so much. Where did I look? Maybe here. Button. Color button. These are the class for making color buttons. And look at the code. It's all nice and clean. There's no, STL garbage or any of that stuff in there. App. Well, I didn't look at that. What was I looking at? Combo box. They got a combo box class. See? It's like their own little MFC. Here, look, an animation control. And it controls send message something or other. There's no com in here, right? It's just like standard Windows programming. Console. Print strings. Print is standard out. Open con out dollar. Now this is a huge source of, I don't want to copy other people's code. I like to understand it. But, if I'm stuck on a problem like I am now, the answer is going to be in here somewhere. And it's probably this work on Reparse point. So maybe I can actually figure it out. Let's see now. A couple of things from that there. That's where it gets all of its the attrib program. All of its functionality pretty much comes out of this freeware open source ulib.dll, which I didn't build, but I already have that. I most certainly will have a look. I like to do my own thing too. It sucks when everything's done for you. Oh, look, a thread class. Look at that. Creates a thread, wait, suspend, resume. These are virtual because they're empty. Implement emptily implemented. Thread startup routine. You know, I have a class just like this. You know, spawn new thread and exec. Tracking bar, Windows application. And this is great. So I would suggest, and look, graphics. Oh no, that's me. Oh yeah, where was that thing where I took a screenshot? Notice too. Where was that? GDI Plus. I don't want to see that. Oh, maybe here. No. There's a thing where he takes his. Oh, maybe. Right. It's exactly what I was doing. You know, he creates an mem and does a bit split from the desktop to his mem and then saves it as a file. I can't find it, but I certainly am not for want of a place to find. Oh, and look, and this. Do you know what CPU ID is? CPU ID is an instruction that tells your processor to dump out information about itself. And he has a version of that. I have a version of this program that uses the CPU ID instruction, but mine's out of date. He's got a bunch of different processors in here. Not sure what this is. There's a lot of stuff. I wonder what this is. Edit command, edit command line. What do you think it might do? ED command line. It's a dialog on a net. Set position of an edit control. And this must be the where it runs the program. I guess. Oh, I guess that's the that's like this thing. I see. Com web page. There's nothing in here. Debug command. I wonder what this is. Oh, I see. Yeah, he does something about debugging. Oh, then lastly, along with it came the command line version of 7z.exe for zipping at the command line. So I can get rid of pkzipc and use this instead. Well, anyway, thought you might find that interesting. Maybe I'll cut out some of this. And I'll try to think of something else to work on, something more exciting. See you.